So let us start the big story of the day in our morning prime. It's about a major ransomware attack which has hit computers across the world for the second time in 2 months. The hackers, they targeted servers of Russian oil giant Rosneft, and they infected the computers of Chernobyl nuclear power plants and the radiation monitoring system which accompany it. The cyber attack also disrupted operations at various Ukrainian banks and shut down computers at various multinational shipping and advertising firms in Spain and Denmark. British advertising firm WPP was the first to confirm the hack. Russian oil giant Rosneft in a statement said that it had suffered a powerful cyber attack. Cases of cyber attacks were reported from the Russian central bank, following which one of the consumer lender Home Credit had to suspend client operations immediately. Russian cyber security experts said that the attackers might have used the same type of hacking tools used in the WION ransomware attack that infected thousands and thousands of computers earlier. Meanwhile, US Defense Secretary Michael Fallon has warned of a major military strikes in response to the cyber attack, which is the first. Fallon also stressed on the UK's ability to carry out offensive attacks from all domains. His comments came after a hacker mounted a determined attack on the UK Parliament, infecting more than 90 emails. So I'm joined by my colleague Ankit Tuteja, and later we'll be joined by guests from abroad in India. But coming to you, Ankit, first, how serious is this attack and what causes repetition, in the sense that when an attack of a similar nature took place 2 months back, there were a lot of assurances by the governments and agencies of the Western nation that they're prepared to deal with it. It seems that every time the attack takes place, they're as ill prepared as they were a week back.
Karthik, as you asked how serious is the attack, I would say it's as serious as the attack that we got to see last month, when the WannaCry ransomware attack disrupted computers and networks across the globe. And also it is believed that the attack is similar to the one that we got to see last month in May. And talking about the numbers, that how many computer networks and people and companies have been affected by the attack, there is no number as yet that how many companies and people and computers have been affected by this attack, and but it is believed that it's similar to the one that happened during the WannaCry attack. And also the code, the eternal blue code, indicates that the hacking tools that the hackers are using have been taken from the leaked document, which came in public domain last month through NSA.
Ankit, there are two things here. One is that the attack emanating from a country. Another is that, you know, you have a deep web, you have a lot of vigilante groups, like, for example, who believe that big powers need to be taught a lesson. So what are the publications, what are the journals who deal with these technologies saying? Are these attacks associated with a nation, or these attacks come from a different collective or a different group which have nothing to do with nation or any agency?
Karthika, internet is a cluster. It's such a dark web now that it's very difficult to identify the traces of where it has come from. And it's not related to one country. You cannot figure out it's come from the US, Europe, or anywhere else across the globe. So right now, there is no information as to which country or who are the people behind this attack. Because once the ransomware attack happens, once it disrupts the networks and computers, it easily spreads across the networks without human intervention. So there is no clear intervention from the human side involved once the malware is installed or once the ransomware affects or disrupts your network.
But Ankit, isn't it ironical that enabling technologies have become the biggest financial disruptors? Well, these are the technologies which connect people, these are the technologies which connect nations, these are the technologies which connect powerless voices, but then they have become the biggest financial disruptors.
Absolutely, we are becoming more technologically advanced. At the same time, hackers are also becoming more technologically advanced. If we are getting the power to use and abuse the internet, so does the hacker. And the hacking tools are getting more sophisticated, and they are becoming more complex. And they can easily go underground. Once even you identify that trace, they can easily move to different domain or proxy. So it's very difficult to identify the trace, as I said, mentioned earlier also. So once you even identify the trace, it's very difficult to get hold of those hackers in particular.
So you are saying that despite so many voices emanating from various countries and senior politicians talking about it, you can't actually get to the culprit.
Very difficult. I would not say never, but yeah, it's very difficult. Like we say in real life, we use this term underground. So in the digital world also, you can easily go underground even if you are identified.
But then Ankit, what was the motive of the attack? Because simultaneously the computers related with Chernobyl were being attacked, the banking credit system were being attacked. Was it financial in nature, or what are the observations by the analyst on this?
Clearly, more wealth is the primary motive here. If you look at it in ransomware, the attack just locks your files and asks you for a stipulated sum of money for a designated amount for you to regain access to your files. And in such a case, if you look at it, hackers are not demanding a huge sum of money. They ask everyone to submit a couple of dollars, and collectively they make a huge sum. So it's not that they're asking you to submit billions of dollars or millions of dollars. It's just a very few amount, maybe $500 or $300. But collectively, they turn into a huge accumulation of wealth.
Okay, Ankit, you stay with me. I'm also joined by Mr. Kunal Khullar. He's a communication expert. He's also assistant editor of the PC Magazine. Mr. Khullar, my question to you is, how do nations deal with attacks like these? Because they emanate from somewhere, they disappear, they don't leave a trace, and they financially disrupt the systems everywhere.
Yeah. So see, I think it's just the beginning. There has been 2 attacks, big attacks right now, and I'm hearing that this attack is actually there's been a company, an advertising company in Gurgaon as well, which has seen the attack. So I think this is just the beginning, and nations need to, actually get equipped with certain sources that they need to actually get updated with all the latest security, update their softwares, all their, operating systems, get to the latest, security so that they don't happen again. And it's not just, banking companies or, small, every small company as well has to deal with it. Because like I said, an advertising agency was attacked and all of their PCs have gone. So I think it's just the beginning, and every nation needs to, pull up their socks and actually think big on the security factor from now on.
But Kunal, how do you stop this? Because as my colleague Ankit was saying, that one part is it's like an international heist. You take few dollars from every person and you accumulate millions and millions of dollars. But another part is there's the national security. You're not targeting only financial institutions. You are targeting Chernobyl. You are targeting gas pipelines. You are targeting the financial infrastructure on which the banking depends, the world banking depends.
Exactly. So see, this is something, obviously, like you said, it's a heist. So this is not just a small thing. This is on a global scale. And obviously, there needs to be certain laws in terms, I know this is not an easy job to do. It gets really difficult to track these people. And they have certain encryptions. They have a lot of stuff happening with them, and they know what they're doing. So there's something they also need to, every nation has to implement certain laws against this. There should be proper, punishment for this once they find out. And I think it should be equal to, something like doing a murder. I don't know, something, some kind of a punishment which goes beyond the level of justice.
I'll request Kunal and Ankit, both of you, to stay with me. But then before I go back to both of you, the whole world has been put on high alert. And after a massive ransomware campaign that has infected a number of organizations in the world. But the issue is that where does the threat emanate from? What is this threat? And we give you a report on this subject.
Malicious software used by cybercriminals to extort money from internet users. The equivalent of a hold-up in cyberspace, ransomware takes the victim's computer hostage by encrypting data stored on the hard drive, as well as any external drives and USB keys connected to the computer at the time of the attack. Hackers then demand a ransom in exchange for the encryption key. Without the key, the data is lost. Payment is generally made in bitcoins, an untraceable digital currency which allows the culprit to remain anonymous. In February 2016, A Los Angeles hospital paid 17,000 US dollars in bitcoins to hackers who took control of its computers for more than a week. Ransomware can enter a system when users open an infected email attachment, click on a link or browse a website which has been hacked. There are several steps you can take to stay safe online. Be cautious when opening email attachments and clicking on links. Avoid suspicious websites. Don't give out personal or financial details unless you're on a secure site or trust the person. Use a firewall and updated antivirus software. Create strong passwords which are long and difficult to guess. And back up important information on external drives which are not connected to the computer.
So the time has come that you have to treat your laptop, your computer like a tomb. It has to be protected like a bunker. But nonetheless, coming back to Kunal and Ankit both, but Kunal first. The whole package, the whole report was about how do an average customer, average user of the laptop prevents the sort of hacking which takes place. But then more than prevention, it's also about counter surveillance. How do states deal with these non-state actors? Whether it's financial terrorism or whether it's actual terrorism, the problem is of non-state actors.
Yeah, you were saying?
Yes, Kunal.
Sorry, I can't
My
hear you,
question
sorry.
to you was, how do states deal with non-state actors?
Hello?
Okay, I will get back to you, Kunal. The same question to you, Ankit. How do states deal with non-state actors? Because, this is about non-state actors.
Karthik, as we have been seeing for a long time that cyber pirates disrupt your computer networks. They actually hack into your machines and completely leave you paralyzed when it comes to security of your computers and when it comes to cyber security. So for state to actually deal with non-state actors, first you need to have right kind of cyber security regulations in place, and we believe India lacks all of those regulations right now. Second, you need to have proper infrastructure in place to actually be able to identify those hackers, which has been a task for a very long time. As I said, it's very easy for them to go underground, easy for them to switch to different proxy. So it's not very easy to get a track of them, but for that I would say right kind of cyber security regulations and proper infrastructure
Okay,
need to be put in place.
let me bring this question home, Ankit. How well prepared is India?
Not really. As we saw that recently Modi visited the US, and during his meet with Trump, it was one of the topic that was cyber security, that how we can, how India with the help of US can make the country more cyber security ready. So currently India is not ready as such. We get to see, talking about, for example, we talk about the ATM machine that we have in India. Most of them still run on around 70% of those ATM machines still run on Microsoft Windows Windows system. And as we've seen these attacks, most of them, the attack has disrupted all those computers that are running Windows operating system. So currently 70% of ATM machines in India are running on the same operating system that has been majorly affected by these hackers. So it's a clear sign that we are yet to upgrade to new technology and to upgrade in a better way.
Kunal is back with us. Kunal, the question which I really wanted to ask you, and I took the question to Ankit, was that how do we deal with non-state actors? But Ankit also made a point that India is not at all prepared. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think India is not prepared for that. As Ankit mentioned, that a lot of systems are still running on an older version of Windows, which is something that every company needs to do. They need to upgrade their softwares. Like I mentioned earlier, that it's not just about small companies, big company. Everyone needs to upgrade. A common person needs to upgrade to the latest software to get the latest. Because there are large servers, there are large, still using an old version of Windows, and for that they need, specific support from Microsoft, which can get difficult to get. So I think India needs to be prepared for all of these attacks.
Okay. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you for joining us. So, and thank you, Kunal, also for joining us. So, basically, the larger issue here is that India, as a nation, is not technologically prepared. Neither it has the technological firewalls, which the West, America, the European nations have been talking about, and nor there is a concerted effort to build that. But then these threats are real. these threats are out there and they can financially disrupt the systems. And these are the issues and these are the frontiers of the technology which any government will have to take care of in case it's really serious, if it wants to really protect its financial integrity.